Hey there, Wondering Watchers. I'm Sony Golden for The Vibe is Golden. Welcome to this edition of Tabloid Tarot, where we use tarot and oracle cards to unveil celebrity news stories that might hit the tabloids next and dig into old scandals that still cause a stir. In today's Tabloid Tarot, we're taking a peek at an actor who graduated from High School Musicals to become a Baywatch babe and has an upcoming bod-revealing role as a wrestler. We're tabloid taroting ZAC Efron. So let's see what sensational headline we have for ZAC and its implications. We have trust, balance, determination, alkanos distraction, and indulgence. Okay, so this distraction card here is catching my attention. This alkanos is a mythical creature that is half bird, half woman, whose singing distracts men and gets them to pretty much kind of forget about whatever it is that they were doing. And then you have this card of indulgence, where this bat looks like they're boozing it up in this bathtub, living life. So to some degree, this might have to do with the fact that ZAC is sober and kind of trying to stay away from things that are not good for him, either physically or his mental health. You have this card of determination, and it looks like a mountain with like the sun rising behind it. To some degree, this is kind of like success, but with this card of balance and these trees in the background that have that triangular shape similar to this determination card, and the spokes of the wheel on this bike similar to the sun at the top, is kind of making me think this has to do with more health balance, mental health balance, spiritual balance, enlightenment. And with this trust card, this is kind of a trust yourself, learn to trust yourself type of thing. So perhaps this headline has to do with, ZAC abstaining from sex, and not only alcohol or drugs, but abstaining from sex. Maybe, going to like live in a monastery or something for some time. But let's explore the juicy details of this story. Let's take a look at ZAC's relevant history. You have the King of Cups here. So this is typically a card of, someone who is emotionally stable, someone who has control over their emotions, is able to deal with all the drama of other people because they can just be supportive and let things fall off, roll off their backs. To some degree, though, the King of Cups reversed is, kind of can be an alcoholic. So I'm going to clarify this. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So here you can see this snazzy looking dude with this car. So to some degree, it's kind of like his past is about being able to indulge in whatever he wants to do, and almost kind of, I would say, take things slowly, but I'm not sure if slow is that goal there. But kind of have the money to do whatever he wanted, to indulge in whatever he wanted. So let's see why it matters for this story. You have the Two of Cups here. So to some degree, it may be that relationships were kind of the focus of his, I want to say, like, playboy type of ways. I'm going to clarify the Two of Cups. We have the Queen of Swords, and this is a card of truth, independence, kind of speaking your mind and pursuing the truth. So for this history, it's kind of, for ZAC, it seems that these Two of Cups, he is seeing that to really fill someone else's cup depletes his own. And to some degree, it seems like this Two of Cups here is more him focusing on himself. So let's see what the focus of this story is. We have the Devil. That's a card of addictions, of being enslaved by something, of toxic relationships, toxic patterns. So let's clarify this. We have the Nine of Cups. So this is another card of kind of like boozing it up, feeling good about yourself. And it's kind of like, where the celebration turns into a drunken stupor. So let's take a look at some additional details of this story. We have the Ten of Swords. That's kind of hitting rock bottom. So, to some degree, maybe there has been a recent, relapse. And he wants to make sure that he is really kind of learned his lesson. Or maybe he's just making sure that he doesn't have a relapse, that he knows that, mixing some guilty pleasures like beautiful women and alcohol, that's maybe an easy trap to fall into. So let's see why this is newsworthy. Have Two of Wands, and you can see this person with their safari hat and the globe, holding the globe. So basically it seems like here it's almost as if ZAC has been trying to escape Hollywood, to escape his past, moving to another country, kind of going off and doing like nature stuff, being isolated. It's a sense of, to some degree, it kind of begs the question of whether some of the isolation that ZAC has found himself in recently, for the purpose of some enlightenment, some soul searching, is just like that other side of the coin of separating himself entirely from people, from others. And it's a new addiction of being alone and possibly like fueling his agoraphobia. So let's see Zach's attitude about the situation. We have here the Queen of Wands. So Zach's kind of attitude about the situation is that it's really easy to be seduced, attracted to something that is a distraction, to indulge in something and be caught up in the moment. So let's see about some damage control assessment for this story. This card wants to come out. You have Two of Pentacles. So really, Zach is aware that, he has to balance or juggle his private person and his public person, and to some degree needs to balance his wants and needs when it comes to his health, his mental health. So let's go ahead and clarify this a little bit more. You have the Hanged Man. So with the Hanged Man, that's sacrifice, seeing things from a different perspective, and it's a voluntary isolation from others and a voluntary suspension of time. So to some degree, it's as if he's hoping possibly to, even take more time away, to see things even more in a different perspective, but also needing to recognize whether or not that's him, again, just like trying to bury his head in the sand and fuel his, agoraphobia or isolation issues. And I don't know why I can't say agoraphobia. I just did. Okay, great. So let's take a look at external factors that influence how this story develops. You have the Knight of Swords here. So external factors being, I would say this represents like media, just kind of going in there and getting the story and throwing something out there. So I'm going to clarify this. You have the Four of Cups. So I do think it is kind of the external factors are the media, what they'll say, what they'll do, and then also external factors of whether or not the story has enough pizzazz or if it's just going to be something that no one really wants to pay attention to. So let's see the likely development for a follow-up of this story. You have this Strength card. Sometimes I kind of consider this to be like a card of like focusing on mental health, self-acceptance. But here it seems that whatever this path Zach needs to go on, it seems that it has to do with some old demons when it comes to certain indulgences and his need for a little bit more time by himself so that he can focus on being the best version of himself that he can be, and then also being physically healthy, mentally healthy. And that's what I have for now. Thanks for watching this edition of Tabloid Tarot. We'll see you next time. Take care.